Arnold for president. I mean, that's the idea. That's what we gotta do. We gotta move forward and make Schwarzenegger president. Voters in California, they already did it. I mean, we've had lots of celebrities who've gone into the political arena. Clint Eastwood, Sonny Bono, Jesse Ventura, and that guy Gopher from... I think all of Arnold's movies clearly show that he would be a simple and effective president to run this nation. Ahh-nold would decrease our bloated military budget, and he'd use that money to fund other programs. With the Terminator as our president, who the hell would mess with us? This is the man who made movies like Commando, Conan the Barbarian, Conan the Destroyer, and Predator. He could end the war on terrorism, this war against these invisible terrorist cells. This is the guy who defeated the invisible enemy in the Predator. For his running mate, why doesn't he grab that woman from Red Sonja? Conan and Red Sonja as our president and vice president. Iraq, Iran, North Korea, nobody's gonna mess with Conan and Red Sonja. We could abolish military spending altogether. Wait, was Brigitte Nielsen Red Sonja? Maybe that's a bad idea. All that money saved would obviously go to the arts and education. His own contribution to the arts already proves that's where he would increase funding. Films like Collateral Damage, Red Heat,
I cannot watch it.
Jingle All the Way, and Hercules in New York they're all shining examples of his passion for the arts. And Arnold cares about education. In Kindergarten Cop, he learned exactly how hard it is to educate our children and to protect them from their criminal parents. Our judicial system would finally be revamped, cleaned up, and made to work much quicker under President Ahh-nold. Ahh-nold would institute the futuristic game show system of justice used in the film Running Man. The government could even make some money selling commercial time during the capital punishment game show. In turn, that means less you'll have to pay in taxes. Under President Ahh-nold, Martians would finally be our allies. And no longer fighting Martian attacks, we can concentrate our sciences on something important like disease and health. And Arnold's familiar with the issues with science. He understands that we can never, ever allow human cloning in any way, shape, or form, because he learned that lesson in the film The Sixth Day. Religion is a huge issue, but you have to remember that Arnold fought the devil in the film End of Days, and he won. If Arnold Schwarzenegger was elected president, the devil would be forced out of America, and he'd have to take up residence in some other country like France or Canada. What would Hollywood be like without the devil and sin? We will no longer have to fear murderous robots stealing our jobs in plants and factories. In the Terminator, Arnold was a robot, and if he can't influence them, then he knows how to destroy them. Arnold understands and is sympathetic to women's issues because he was in that film, Junior. It's often cited as the biggest barrier between men and women, the fact that men cannot reproduce. Well, he's been there, and he's every woman's choice for president.
Smile.
Prior to his film career and his career in politics, Arnold was a bodybuilder. In fact, he was Mr. Universe. So as president of the United States, I'm sure that he would make fitness a priority. No more stories on 60 Minutes or 2020 about America being a nation of fatties.
I am tired of the same old faces.
Arnold wouldn't stand for that. He would go after fast food joints and make healthier menus, and he would make us a nation of beautiful people. Who doesn't want to be beautiful? In our most recent election, both the vice presidential candidates were asked, What does a vice president do? What does a president do?
I don't understand.
The people have the power, right? Okay, maybe that's not true now because of the Patriot Act and much of what Mr. Bush has done. Technically, the checks and balance system gives more power to Congress than the president. He's just a figurehead. Our last actor in office proved that. Reagan was a nice enough man, but his mental facilities came into question on more than one occasion. Arnold would be the perfect figurehead.
Everything is perfect.
He represents everything that we as American citizens want. We want success, and we want to be rich, and we want to be cool. Furthermore, in his first film, Hercules in New York, his English accent was so horrible that they overdubbed him with another voice.
Diane and the psychiatry are in love with him. I think Heavy is attracted too.
So that makes him the perfect puppet for the corporate interests that want to sponsor his campaign and his overall election. Stop right there. Did you say corporate interests? No, don't worry about that. If you're thinking like big oil, that's not going to happen, because I imagine that he will replace the presidential limo with the presidential hog. And more than likely, he'll never use Air Force One. Instead, he'll opt to use something different, like his own personal fighter jet, an F-18 or something. That's what action heroes do. Speaking of action heroes, there's another way that we can lower taxes. We can sell presidential merchandise. Who wouldn't want a t-shirt that says, "My president can beat up your dictator"? So let's look at the negative effects of President Arnold.
What can stop me?
As far as I can see, the only negative effect is the whole 2 consecutive term thing. After going over all these great lessons I've learned from his films of why he'd make a great president, what's going to happen after his 2 4-year terms? I mean, just think of the recent presidents we've had. Do we want to make that mistake again? Yes, someday he will die, and that will be unfortunate, but maybe by then we'll have perfected cloning, like in the 6th day, and we can clone him. Or better yet, we can build a robot Arnold, like from the Terminator, and he can be our president forever.
Diane and the psychiatry are in love with him. I think Heavy is attracted too.